Video could get a little bit ranty. It's about something someone said at college a while ago, which I just completely don't agree with on any level. I also apologise if you can hear my brothers in the background. As I've said in a previous video, they literally never shut up. Anyway, so this video is basically around the fact that someone at college said I would be bulimic if it didn't increase my chances of getting throat cancer. Wow. I think you can figure out what I'm going to say about this and why I am so totally appalled and why I was so angry about it. I mean, eating disorders are not a choice. If you were not bulimic because you don't want throat cancer, that would be implying that eating disorders are a choice. Is that saying that people who are bulimic do want throat cancer? Because honestly, I mean, I've never been bulimic. I've never made myself throw up. But I know from my experiences with anorexia and EDNOS that when I was in the depths of my eating disorder, I didn't worry that I could have a heart attack. I didn't worry that I could die. I mean, I didn't worry that I had low blood pressure. I didn't worry about my blood sugars possibly dropping so much that I could pass out because I wasn't eating all day until dinner. It didn't bother me, you know. I mean, an eating disorder is a mental illness, and to have an eating disorder, you know, you don't have the mental capacity to think, oh, I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't be this because it will give me throat cancer. You don't think about that. It's like a compulsion. It's something you have to do and you have no choice over it. And that's why I was so totally appalled, because it's kind of like me saying, well, I'm anorexic because I want to be thin. Well, no, I didn't choose to be anorexic. My eating disorder wasn't always anorexia. It started off as EDNOS. But I didn't choose that. I didn't choose to have an eating disorder. I don't even remember choosing to go on a diet as such. It's something that just happened to me. And that's really the best way I can describe it. And I think there is a real misconception right now that eating disorders are a choice. And they're really not a choice. They're a mental illness like any other mental illness, and you don't choose to have depression, you know. Depression is a disorder it's caused by lots of things, really. It can be caused by genetics, low levels of serotonin in the brain, lack of positive reinforcement, and faulty cognitive processing. These are things you don't choose to have. I mean, yes, with the positive reinforcement, you could do more pleasant activities to try and raise your mood, but that doesn't work for everyone. For example, I have a friend with severe depression, and she is so depressed that she doesn't really do much, and, you know, I guess you could say she could at least try to do stuff, but she does, and she's still really, really depressed, and actually it's getting worse. She didn't choose that. She doesn't choose to be that way. Actually, she hates it and she wants to get help from CAMHS. You know, and I just wish eating disorders could be treated in the same way as other illnesses. I mean, not just other mental illnesses, because there is the misconception that all mental illnesses are a choice. But take, for example, cancer. I wish, you know, that one day eating disorders could be respected in the same way that cancer is. You know, you don't choose to have cancer, and you'd be a really horrible person to be telling someone that they chose to have cancer. So why aren't you a really horrible person for telling someone that they chose to have an eating disorder? It's just completely bizarre to me, because they are both diseases and illnesses in their own right, and both of them are fatal. So, you know, why is it a choice? It's not a choice. So why do people think that way and believe that it is a choice? Because it really No. You're not bulimic because you don't want throat cancer. You're not bulimic because you don't have the genetic predisposition to have an eating disorder. And, you know, you don't feel the need to stick your fingers down the back of your throat after eating a huge amount of food, or to burn it off through exercise, or to abuse laxatives. You don't get some strange elation off of starving yourself, restricting calories. You actually care about your health because you don't have a mental illness at all. You don't, you care that you might get throat cancer, which is why you don't practice eating disordered behaviours. But that doesn't make eating disorders a choice. It just means you don't make yourself throw up, which, I mean, you can make yourself throw up once and not have an eating disorder. I'm sure there are plenty of people that have done that. I mean, I know someone at college who did go through a phase of doing that, but it wasn't a prolonged enough phase or a destructive phase, to make it an actual eating disorder. Anyway, that's my rant over, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!